Hi, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. So excited you're here because I have a big fat book haul for you. And this is probably going to be total chaos because I didn't separate it into any kind of category. This is just at random. I have special editions. I have books that I unwrapped from Blind Date with Books. I have horror, I have non-horror. I have a little bit of everything. And we're just going to go with it. Whatever order it comes in, okay? It's been busy here. But yeah, let's get into it. First one is from Twisted Retreat, and that is this beauty here. Sorry about the glare. Maybe I should just like turn my ring light. There we go. This is the entirely true story of the fantastical mesmerist Nora. And this cover is so pretty. It's just, yeah. There's something so whimsical about this. The edges are really cute. Like, they're so witchy. And just, yeah, just really cute. This is the back. And let me take the dust jacket off, see what it looks like underneath. Okay, so this is what's under back. And then we have the in-page art. It's the other side. Okay, but yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. It says, as spiritualism reaches its fevered pitch at the dawn of the 20th century, a Scottish girl crosses the veil to unlock a powerful connection within an infamous asylum in this thrillingly atmospheric, exquisitely evocative exploration of feminine rage, an agency for readers of Sarah Penner, Alice Hoffman, and Hester Fox. Okay. Sounds excellent. There's like more, like there's a whole long synopsis on the back, but I'll just read you that little blurb and we'll just leave it at that because otherwise we'll be here all day. I picked this up at Barnes & Noble, and that is Lady Macbeth. Finally got my hands on this. It's so stunning. And this is by Ava Reid. So this has the pink spine, and then we have hot pink edges. Hello, like hot pink edges. I'm obsessed. Obsessed. I feel like everybody's read this but me, but I'll still read you the synopsis. The lady knows the stories, how her eyes induce madness in men. The lady knows she will be wed to the Scottish brute who does not leave his warrior ways behind when he comes to the marriage bed. The lady knows his hostile, suspicious court will be a game of strategy requiring all of her wiles and hidden witchcraft to survive. But the lady does not know her husband has occult secrets of his own. She does not know the prophecy girds him like armor. She does not know that her magic is greater and more dangerous and that it will threaten the order of the world. She does not know this yet, but she will. Yeah, I've heard excellent things about this. I've been wanting it forever and I finally got my hands on it. And I just couldn't say no to hot pink edges. We have another Twisted Retreat, and this is Hinterland by Logan Spurgeon. And this, I love that this one like sparkles, like the little twinkly like stars, it sparkles. This has like feathers and bones on the back. Okay, and then the edges have this sort of snowy, it's like snowy mountainous. And take the dust jacket off so you could see the full beauty of this thing. This is the naked cover. And then we have in-page art. I love the in-page art on these because they give such a visual about what the book is going to be about, and I just love that. It says, Kestrel awakes in the woods without a real name or his memories. Before him are 12 strangers, an altar on fire and bones hanging from the trees like wind chimes. He's to be initiated into their group so they may fulfill their purpose. Head to the mountain of the so-called gods, have a feast, and bring about the end of the world. Kestrel is willing to risk it all to escape, but without any memories, he knows he must play along until he finds a way out. It won't be easy. Winter is on their heels. Hunters are searching for them, and the strange rituals they perform will rip his humanity from his flesh. But Kestrel isn't alone. One of the strangers claims to be his friend from before, and there are others willing to join his side and leave the wilderness if the gods let them. That sounds really interesting. And I hadn't heard of this until I got the box. So I was like, interesting. Also, I went to Half Price Books and I found some interesting little gems there. This one is The Demon by Jeffrey Sackett. And I don't know if you could tell, but this has like the raised, I don't know what you call that. There's a word for it, and my brain is spacing today. This has like the raised. This cover is so gnarly. Like, creepy cover. Yeah, but I found this at Half Price Books. Horror in the Flesh. Someone new has moved into the quiet little town of Bexkill, New York. His name is Vernon Sweet, and he is an ex-sideshow geek. Once he was known to the carnival crowds as Grogo the Goblin, but here he is only a joke, a freak, a hideous obscenity, living with his mysterious guardian in a dilapidated house on the outskirts of town. Vernon Sweet is an abomination of nature. Still, there is something irresistible about him. He has an aura, a strange charisma that seems to suck you in. No one can explain the shocking series of murders or the bizarre visions that now haunt the dark woods surrounding the town. But one thing is certain, an unspeakable evil has found its way to Bexkill, and it has taken the most horrifying form of all. Yeah. Has anybody read this? Let me know. Also found The Abyss by Steve Vance. And this is another like creepy cover that just got my attention and I just had to have it. It was such a lovely old house, elegant and airy, but it had one minor flaw. The people who checked in never checked out, alive. Undaunted by rumors of evil, Kathy Lockwood walked right into the festering heart of the crumbling mansion, determined to find her brother. She was sure he was alive, in some form, and she swore she'd rip York House apart, timber by timber, to find him. She thought nothing human or inhuman could scare her away until she confronted the horrifying secret that waited for her in the dark, fetid basement. Then she could scream to high heaven, but only hell would hear her. Hollywood Dinosaur by Daniel Cohen. This is a nonfiction, and it looks so fun. I love this cover. I'm obsessed. And this talks about all of the dinosaurs in film. And it goes over like Godzilla, King Kong, Gigantus, the fire monster. So this goes over like all the famous like monsters in cinema. And it just sounded like a lot of fun. We have Be an Interplanetary Spy. I don't fully understand what this is about based on like what I saw in the back. But this is like, it says you track down the villain, and it's something about video games. More than a video game, you make the decisions. So this is like something from like book fairs from like back in the day, and it has like pictures, and it says you are the interplanetary spy. Your mission is to protect the diplomat core boss Tro as he travels with the most valuable jewel in the galaxy, the star crystal. You must stop unknown agents from stealing the crystal and attacking Tro. So I don't know if this is like a choose your own adventure situation or if this is just like a comic book. I'm not fully sure until I get into it, but it just looked like a lot of fun. I was kind of obsessed with the cover, and this just looked like a blast. If you've ever seen these, let me know, and let me know what you, just let me know. I think there are like codes in here that you crack, and you're like solving this whole thing. So it looked like a blast. Got Goosebumps Horrorland, The Scream of the Haunted Mask, and like This is one that I didn't have. Where and scare, what should Carly Beth be for Halloween this year? Terrified. Late at night, an ugly green mask is mysteriously calling out to her. An ugly green mask don't like to be ignored. If Carly Beth survives the night, even a scary theme park might sound like a vacation, or maybe not. At Horrorland, every night is Halloween, and those monster masks, they aren't masks at all. Goosebumps Horrorland, The Wizard of Ooze. Marco is a die-hard fan of the Ooze, a comic book villain with the power to sludge his enemies. So when he finds a super rare edition of one of the Ooze comics at the Chiller House gift shop, Marco is sure he has found something special for his collection. Outside of Horrorland, there are a few other people interested in the comic book, the kinds of people you don't want to mess with, like a muscular monster of a man dressed as the Ooze. But if he's only wearing a costume, why does he have an oily mess everywhere he goes? And why is he following Marco? Goosebumps Most Wanted, Frankenstein's Dog. Kat is reluctant to visit her uncle Vic Frankenstein because of all the rumors about him, but Kat is relieved to find that even though he lives in a dark, old castle-like mansion, Uncle Vic is a quiet, gentle man, a scientist interested in building robots with artificial intelligence. Also, Kat loves Poochie, Vic's small, adorable, fluffy white dog, but after an accident occurs in her uncle's lab, strange things begin to happen. Has Kat created a monster, or is something else responsible for the horror that is unleashed? That sounds fun. These are more half-price books finds. Horror movie by Paul Tremblay. This has the edges, the film edges, and so this may be one I add to my old school April TBR, just like a little spoiler for you. So in June 1993, a group of young guerrilla filmmakers spent 4 weeks making Horror Movie, a notorious, disturbing art house horror flick. The weird part, only 3 of the film scenes were ever released to the public, but Horror Movie has nevertheless grown a rabid fan base. 3 decades later, Hollywood is pushing for a big budget reboot. The man who played the thin kid is the only surviving cast member. He remembers all too well the secrets buried within the original screenplay, the bizarre events of the filming, and the dangerous crossed lines on set that resulted in tragedy. As memories flood back in, the boundaries between reality and film, past and present, start to blur. But he's going to help remake the film, even if it means navigating a world of cynical producers, egomaniacal directors, and surreal fan conventions. Demons of the past be damned. But at what cost? Horror Movie is an obsessive, psychologically chilling, and suspenseful feat of storytelling genius that builds inexorably to an unforgettable, mind-bending conclusion. I've heard great things about this one, so. We have Goosebumps, Slappy Beware. I'm obsessed with Slappy. I've always loved Slappy. An untold true story of the world's most villainous dummy. In the Goosebumps universe, there is no villain more feared than Slappy. Endowed by his magician creator with devious powers, Slappy has only one mission in his tiny, deranged mind: do evil every day, all day. But he may have met his match in the Carlton family. Each of Slappy's attempts to ruin their lives ends in disaster, and the dummy starts to panic. Will Slappy's scariest day yet bring an end to his reign of terror? It says also inside the special edition, exclusive Slappy art, R.L. Stine interviews Slappy's most iconic insults. This sounds really funny. I also find at half-price books this Halloween, and it's a book of stories. This includes stories by a story by Ray Bradbury, so that's cool. And there are lots of other authors on here as well. So that's a fun collection. Be good for Halloween-a-thon. The last 2 that I found at half-price books, this Blood Canticle by Anne Rice, which is part of the Vampire Chronicles. I love these books. I think they're so gorgeous. I have a couple from the series, so I've just been collecting them at random when I see them out in the wild. And then also, this is another one from the series, and that is Blood and Gold. See, they're so stunning. They're absolutely gorgeous. Other books that I have just bought. I Will Kill Your Imaginary Friend for $200 by Robert Brockway. This cover is fun. It's just yellow and it's got this random, I'm guessing this is an imaginary friend. Yeah, I'd love to know the story of what happened here. Yeah, and then this is also like got the edges. It just looks, it sounds fun, it looks fun. To bright and anxious 8-year-old Kay Washington, the worst thing in the world is being alone with the quiet. That's why Eddie Video makes the perfect imaginary friend. He's smart, he's loud, he loves pulling pranks, and he's always there to chase away the silence. To mid-40s, down on his luck Ivan, the worst thing in the world happened when he lost his imaginary friend. Now cursed with the ability to see everyone else's, Ivan makes a living by killing the imaginary friends of adults who couldn't let go. But when one of Eddie Video's pranks goes too far, Ivan agrees to make an exception and help Kay. Only Ivan will soon learn that Eddie Video is nothing like the talking ostriches, star bears, and goblin princesses he's encountered in the past, and it's going to take a lot more than clumsy haymakers and steak knives to bring him down. A balance of comedy and catharsis, this dual narrative tackles both the fear of growing up and the scars our childhood leaves behind. Doesn't that sound like a freaking blast? Yeah. I saw it, and knew I had to have it. It just sounded like too much fun. All right. I got this one in a Blind Date with the Book, and it sounds really cute. And that is The Magnolia Sisters by Alice Murray. And look how like freaking cute and kind of whimsical this cover is. It just looks cozy. Says, as the caretaker of her family's flower farm, Harper Anderson has a to-do list longer than the Colorado River. So when an arrogant tech mogul insists on using their farm as his sister's wedding venue, Harper doesn't have time to kindly explain how much destruction that kind of event would wreak on next season's crop. But then Luke Martin offers an irresistible deal. He'll work on the farm for free if Harper will give him the chance to change her mind. Harper and Luke each expect the other to crack first. What they don't expect is the chemistry to bloom between them as they work side by side. But just as Harper is starting to let her guard down, Luke stumbles upon a secret that could spell disaster for the entire Anderson clan. With her family's happiness at stake, can Harper put her trust in a man who is worlds apart from everything she knows? Okay, sounds really cute. Really cozy. This is another one I got with Blind Date with the Book, and that is A Love Song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams. I freaking loved 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I was obsessed with that book, like 5 stars, loved it. And so I was really excited to see this one. And this cover is stunning too. It's just gorgeous. It says, Ricky Wilde has many talents, but being a Wilde isn't one of them. As the impulsive, artistic daughter of a powerful Atlanta dynasty, she's the opposite of her socialite sisters. Where they're long-stemmed roses, she's a dandelion, an adorable bloom that's actually a weed, born to float wherever the wind blows. Where a regal nonagenarian, Miss Della, invites her to rent a floor of her Harlem brownstone, Ricky jumps at the chance for a new beginning. She leaves behind her family, wealth, and chaotic romantic decisions to realize her dream of opening a flower shop in New York City. Soon the dream turns into a modern-day fairy tale when she encounters a handsome, mysterious stranger who knocks her world off balance in the most magical ways. A Love Song for Ricky Wilde is the story of 2 passionate artists drawn to the romance of New York and whose lives are irreversibly linked. Yes, that sounds really cute. The Mysterious Bakery on Rue de Paris by Evie Woods. Okay, so this cute, sweet, whimsical, magical little tea shop just opened. Well, it's been open for a few months in the town where I live. And I'm telling you, my town is so tiny. I never expected something so freaking cool to open here. And they have these sweet, like cozy little books in there. And this is one. And I just love it. It has all these gold, I don't know if you can tell, but it has these gold details on it. It's so cute. I love it. And this tea shop is just pure magic. I want to go in there every day. It's just perfect. And there are a lot of really sweet teas. There's she's even got like this, it's almost like a witchy vibe. Like these teas, they have like sort of like a witchy vibe. I got a couple of, you'll see them in a vlog at some point. But she'll have like fresh breads in there one day, and then another day she'll have like these sweet little gnomes. And it's just, it's a vibe. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with it. Okay, so there's this little bakery, and the bakery has like all these rumors surrounding it that the treats have a little magic in them. Like, you know, that they'll chase away your sorrows, or that maybe they'll bring you luck or whatever. So it says, for Edie Lane, a recipe for disaster doesn't require that many ingredients. Take an unhealthy amount of wishful thinking and a sprinkle of desperation, and that's how Edie left everything behind in Ireland for her dream job at a bakery in Paris, except the bakery isn't in Paris and neither is Edie. This might not be where Edie intended to be, but she soon realizes it's exactly where she needs to be. It doesn't sound really cute. It just, oh. Yeah, I like a good, like, cozy little magical book. Finally, oh my God, I was so happy and so freaking excited when I saw this book coming out. Be Your Own Bestie by Misha Brown. Like, oh my God. And it's signed, and I was so freaking stoked about this one. I don't know, like, I follow his TikTok, YouTube, all the things, and when I saw this book coming out, I got so freaking excited. Of course, it's a self-help book, and it says a no-nonsense guide to changing the way you treat yourself, and that just sums it up. And if you don't follow his YouTube, his TikTok, you should, because he is just this light and this like positivity, and I just love all the advice and all the just happiness that he puts out there. And I just, every time I watch his videos, I smile. I can't help it. I always do, and he just can brighten my whole day, and I cannot wait to read this. It says it's time to start loving yourself radically, and Misha, aka your bestie Misha, is here to show you how. His hilarious yet heartfelt stories, sharp insights, and no-nonsense advice will help you release the patterns, people, and beliefs that have kept you from stepping into your full fabulousness. Get ready to glow up your life through Misha's SASS method, S-A-S-S method. It says, why wait? Start showing up for yourself as your own best friend now, because you deserve it, bestie. Yeah, but yeah, I highly recommend you follow him everywhere because he's just amazing. So those are all the books. I have like a little book mountain here. Let me know if you've read any of these. Where should I start? Is there one that you're like dying to see me read first, you want to hear my thoughts on? Let me know, because I'm so excited to read them. I feel like I flew through them, but I didn't want to keep you here all day. Next week, you're going to get my January and February reading wrap up, so look forward to that. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now.